Hi, welcome back to the Chico Math Practice Lab Algebra 2 lecturing series. And in today's video, we are going to the lesson 2.8. And this is also a very important lesson. We're going to find for a given linear equation. How do we find the parallel lines and the perpendicular lines to the given linear equations here? Like I say, it's very, very important topics here. And also like in the SAT, ACT exams, this type of the problems always occurred, all right? So we need to be very good at, how to find the parallel line and how to find the perpendicular line. Okay, so before we go to our worksheets here, so let me go to the whiteboard first, and then let's have a very brief lecture about how do I find the parallel line and the perpendicular line for a given linear equations here. So, okay, so I'm going to the whiteboards right now. Okay, here we go, and I am at the whiteboard here. Okay, so for the given lines here, right? So how do I find the parallel line? Okay, so if for a given line, okay, so if we say the L1, okay, then in here we have two situations. If the another lines here, so situation number one is to tell you if L2 parallel, so this is a notation like put the two lines like parallel to L1. So do we read this line 2 parallel to line 1 here. So we say if L2 parallel to L1, then what do we say here? Then these two lines have the slope. Okay, so the slope of the L2 will be equal to the slope of the L1 here. So if I set the slope of the L2 here, right? So if I say the slope of L2 is equal to M2, the slope of the L1 is equal to M1, that means these two slopes will be equal to what? So M2 is going to equal to the M1 here. Okay, so how about if two lines, they are perpendicular? So we say if the line 2, so it's L2 perpendicular, right? So I use this notation, perpendicular to the L1s here. This is how do we read? We say L2 perpendicular to L1. That means they intersect at 90 degrees. So the same things here, the slope of the L2, if I that equal to M2, then the slope of the L1 equal to the M1. So what is the good relation of these two? So if they are perpendicular, we know that M1 times M2 will be equal to -1. What's that mean? That means they are the reciprocal of each other, then plus a negative signs here, okay? So for a given equations, how do I find the perpendicular line and, the slope, the parallel lines here? So here are the steps here, okay? So here are the pretty easy steps here, right? So for a given step, so here are the steps, how to find the perpendicular. And okay, so when I demonstrate this step, I'm also going to use lines here as the examples here, right? So you can see what I mean, the steps here, okay? So here I say y minus 2x, right, equal to, let's say it's 3 here. So I want to find, so what I need to do is here, find a parallel line goes through point 3, 3, 4. Okay, so also I want to find a perpendicular line. Let's say that goes through the same point, right? 3, 4. Okay, so how do I do it, right? So the steps here, step number 1. Okay, so we say change the given equation to the slope and the intercept form. Okay, so the first thing is, hey, you give me these equations, right? So I'm going to step number 1 says, okay, change to the slope and intercept form. So if you still remember, so let's review the slope intercept form. Everybody still remember slope and the intercept form? What it looks like? Y equal to the mx plus b is here, right? Okay, so now in here, let's say here, so the slope intercept form. So I need to change y equal to mx plus b. So I need to add 2x both sides. So I have y equal to the 2x plus 3. Okay. Okay, so now, okay, the step number 2 is here. Okay, if is finding the parallel line, right? So if it's finding parallel line, then keep the constants of x and y, and then solve for b. Okay, so what's that mean? That means in here, right? Okay, so that means in here. So this is the constants of the y is 1s, right? So this is the constants, right? So the y equal to y, you can write it like the 1y's, right? So what do they say here? They say, hey, if you are finding the parallel lines, right? So if you are finding parallel line, then you tell you, say, hey, here, what you should do is here, you just keep the y and the x the same. So you say y is equal to the 2x plus b, see here. And then you plug in the points, right, to solve for b's here. So, okay, so I don't change these two, right? So here, this is the, right? So this is the, like, the key things, right? So I said, hey, these two, I don't change here, right? So just like whatever you got it from the given function, I don't change. So now I solve for the x, solve for the b. So now I substitute the 3 and the 4, right? So x equal to 3, y equal to 4. So I solve for b. So 4 is equal to the 2 times 3 plus b, correct? So 4 is equal to the 6 plus b. So I know what is the b's here? B is negative 2 here. Okay, so now my final answers here for the parallel line is y equal to the 2x minus 2. So this is my final answers here. All right. Okay, so that's why we say that you keep it the same here, right? I need to erase some here, so then I think we can have the space to write the step number 3. So if the step number 2, this is step number 2, right? Okay, then step number 3 is here. Okay, if I'm finding, instead of parallel line, I'm finding the perpendicular. How do I do it? What is the easy ways to do it? Here is the easy way. So what I need to do is here, I need to switch the constant between X and Y, then add a negative sign, right? So then I can add a negative sign to X or to Y, to X or to Y, doesn't matter, just add one, then solve for B. Okay, so let's see what I mean here. If I'm looking for the perpendicular lines here, so this is the one y equal 2x plus 3. So this step tell you, say, hey, switch these two. All right, so that means I've switched these two. So I will have 2y is equal to x, right, plus b. See here. Then it should tell you, put a negative sign in front. Okay, so put any negative sign. So you put a negative sign in front of the y or in front of x. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I put it in front of the x here. Now you substitute 3 and 4 here. Try to solve it. Okay, so that means solve for b's, right? So the first things here you can do is you can divide 2 if you want, or you do that later. Does not matter, right? Okay, so that's to be simple. If you want, let's just do divide the last ones here. Okay, so 4. So this is 2 times 4 is equal to negative 3 plus b. Okay, so you will have what? You have a is equal to the negative 3 plus b. So what is the b value? B is equal to the 11, right? So now you have 2y equal to negative x plus 11. But this is not the slope-intercept form, so I will divide by 2, both sides. So you will get y equal to the negative 1/2 of x plus 11 over 2. So this is the line, all right? So this is the line parallel, perpendicular, and then this is the line parallel, right? So remember, what is the key things we need to remember? If it's a perpendicular, so what do? We switch, right? We switch the x and the y's constants, and then add a negative sign. If it's a parallel, what do we do? So here, keep the constants here. Okay, so now this is the way we're going to find doing the work on the worksheets. All right, so that making sure you take good notes. And now let's go to the worksheet and try to do some examples to let you get a more and more like familiar with the methods here. All right, so let's take a look at these ones here. All right, so this is a worksheet. I have 4 problems I can do. I'm going to show you how to do it, and then you can do the remaining. So remember the steps, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the first ones here. Okay, so let me give each one some space so we can work on it. All right. Okay, so find the equation, the slope and the intercept form, all right, that satisfy each of the conditions. So first one is here, what do we find here? Parallel. And this one is already in the slope-intercept form. So if for the parallel, remember, like we said, this is a parallel, right? So if it's the parallel, what happened to those coefficient of the y and the x? Nothing, keep it, right? So that's why we say y equal to the 4x. Now it's a b here, right? So y-intercept at 4. So y-intercept really is 0, 4, right? That's what is the point. So you substitute y equal to 4. So it's a 4 is equal to 4 times 0 plus b. So what I get b here, b is equal to 4. So my final answer here is y equal to 4x plus 4. All right, so this is the line going to be what? This is the line going to be parallels, right? Okay, so now let's take a look at the next ones here. Let's say, hey, find the parallel line to this line. Okay, as soon as you see the parallel line, then you immediately know, so, oh, okay, so I'm keeping the constants the same, right? So I'm not moving the first two constants. So you will say, okay, y equal to the negative 3x. I'm not doing anything to these two. So then you want to solve for b. So you say negative 3x plus b. Now you take a look here. The information they give you, they say, hey, this is the x-intercept, right? So what is the x-intercept mean? X-intercept, that means the x equal to 4. What is the y value here? Y equal to 0, right? Because intercept, that means y equal to 0. Now, let's substitute to here and see what is the b's here, right? So y equal to 0 is equal to the negative 3 times 4 plus b. So 0 is equal to negative 12 plus b. So what is the b values here? B value is 12. So what is my final answer? Final answer is negative 3x plus 12, right? Okay, so again, this one is the parallel lines here. Okay, good job. We are progressing very well here. Okay, now let's take a look at the next ones here. Oh, next one, let's say is perpendicular. Okay, so I know if perpendicular, then what happened to my coefficient here? Y equal to negative 2x, we say, if you want to find a line to be perpendicular, so what you need to do, you switch, right? You switch the coefficient. So the coefficient in front of the x is negative 1/2, then in front of the y is 1. So you switch these two. So you say this is negative 1/2 y is equal to, so this is 1, right? You switch with x plus b. And then it says, don't forget, this is the key part, right? It said after you switch, right? So this is a switch. This is a switch the constants, right? Okay. Then they say you need to add a negative sign, either in front of x or in front of y. It does not matter. So in here, I say, okay, I'm going to add a negative sign. I'm going to add in front of the y's here, right? So I'm going to add a negative sign here. So negative will give me what? Positives, right? So I will have 1/2 of the y equal to x plus what? X plus b's here, right? Then I need to solve for b's here. So if you like, you can simplify it, right? So you can say, okay, so I can do times 1/2 both sides, times 2 both sides. So I will have y equal to 2 the x plus b. So this is 2x plus 2b's, right? So I times 2 on both sides. Now, what is the given point? Is this one, 2, 3. So what I can do, I substitute y equal to 3 is equal to the 2 times 2 plus 2b. So 3 is equal to 4 plus 2b. All right, so you minus 4, so it's negative 1 equal to the 2b. So what is my b's here? Negative what? 1/2, right? So if it's negative 1/2, so my answers here, I substitute back to here, right? To see my final equation. So that means 1/2 of the y is equal to x plus negative 1/2, right? So the minus 1/2. But this is not the slope-intercept form, so I need to times 2 to become the slope-intercept form. So this will be y equal to the 2, the x minus 1/2, right? So you times 2 both sides. So what is the final answer? It's 2x minus 1. So y equal to the 2x minus 1. Yeah. So if you times, so if you don't believe what I told you, so here, right? So this is negative 1/2, and this is 2, right? So when you multiply these two, what you get? Negative 1s, right? That's what is the perpendicular conditions here. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, so here, this is the one. Also say, hey, find the perpendicular, right? Okay, so as soon as you see you find the perpendicular, what you need to do here, you take a look at these two, right? So you need to switch, okay? So I will switch these two, so you'll be 3y equal to x plus b, all right? After you switch, don't forget to add a negative sign. Okay, so here I will add my negative sign here. All right, so you switch and add a negative sign. Now you substitute the value. So this is 6, this is x, this is y, right? So you substitute. So this is 3, the negative 1 is equal to the negative 6 plus b here. So it's negative 3, negative 6 plus b. So plus 6 both sides. So 3, b equal to 3. Okay, b equal to 3. So I can write into my equation. So this is 3y equal to the negative x, right? Plus what? Plus 3. This is not the standard form, right? This is not the slope-intercept form because I have a constant in the front. So what I need to do? Divided by 3, right? So if you divide it by 3, so y is equal to the whole things you need to divide it by 3, right? So this one's here will be equal to what? Y is equal to the negative 1/3 of x plus 1, right? So you need to divide by 3 both sides. See here, this is your final answer. Hey, if you want to check your calculations correct or not, so this slope is negative 1/3. This is 3. So 3 times 1/3 is negative 1. So that is satisfy our definitions here. Okay, that's it, all right? So this is how do you find the parallel line and the perpendicular line. Remember, when you do the parallel line, is really pretty easy. You just keep whatever the y and the x constant, then you solve for b. Then the perpendicular is not too bad. Just remember, you boom, boom, you switch their constant. But don't forget, you need to add a negative sign. This negative sign doesn't matter. You add to the x or you add to the y. After you do that, then solve for b. Okay? And that's it. And so it's a very, very important chapter. Like I said, find the parallel line, perpendicular line. It's so popular, the problems here. Even on the SAT, ACT, they always have this type of the problem. Okay? So make sure you practice and do the exercise so you can be good at it. All right, that's it. You have a good day. And so don't forget to practice, 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 right? That's the way you can make your getting better in the math. Okay, so it's so nice to talk to you today. And have a good day. I'm looking forward to talk to you in our next videos. Okay, bye.